Yes, sir.
Hey, Glenn.
What's happening?
I just found out that last night I found out that my grandfather died.
Ah.
So I guess it was.
I guess we should offer our sympathies.
Yeah.
That probably means they'll let you into the country.
Yeah. So that's what I have to do now. I have to see if the embassy will let me in. I guess because I think they plan the funeral.
Let me know as soon as they tell you.
Yeah. But he was like kind of like a link that I had to the past, you know.
How old was he?
92.
How old?
92.
92.
Yeah.
I thought you said 72.
No. But they said he was like suffering a lot, so.
Suffering from what?
I guess not being able to
being
eat.
92.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of health problems at that age. So.
Well, 92 and having lived on top of a magnetic field basically means he's gone into overtime. He's lived longer than most men do.
How was that?
How long has he been sick?
Well, for years I knew he had like probably over a decade. I remember when he was first diagnosed with diabetes.
Can't hear you.
I remember like over a decade. I remember when he was first diagnosed with diabetes, and he would have to take insulin shots. But I don't know the actual details of like what he was suffering from this whole time, because they don't really tell me the details like that. When I saw him, you know, he was he would be fed, but I didn't know how he ate specifically. I didn't know like the fine details. I guess I can ask when I get there. Because my grandmother, I don't know. She didn't even tell me that he died. It was my mom who told me. She called and she asked me to pass the phone to my mother. I guess she didn't want to worry me or something like that. I don't know. It always seems that like the women usually outlive the men, and
yeah. So far.
Yeah. So.
Used to live a lot longer prior to the Ice Age.
Yeah.
Of course, they didn't have hydro then. No hydro, no bell, no hospitals.
So they lived a lot longer, but I've heard that people didn't live long either. Like they, you know.
Well, since the Ice Age, it dropped down to 25 and started working its way back up again.
Oh.
So, but at the time of Moses, it was at 40.
That was considered old? Wow.
Yeah, that was considered the time to die. Up to 40.
And that was accepted and nobody questioned that?
Yeah. Beginning of the agricultural revolution.
Yeah. So is it warm up there right now?
Hey?
Is Is it warm today up there?
Yeah, it's more humid than warm, I imagine.
Oh.
You sweat.
Yeah.
And you feel up. Then it feels before you started sweat.
Huh. Yeah, it's been like it's been humid here and there, but at nighttime it gets cool, really cool over here.
Phone skipped there.
I said it gets humid,
Yeah.
but at nighttime it gets cool. It's like cooler, like it's not like we haven't had those 90, 100 degree hot summer days. Like we had like how many days did we have last year? It was like one day or something.
Of heat?
Yeah. Well, it was like 100 degrees.
Over 90?
Yeah, over 90. I think it was like a day.
Wasn't too many days.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I consider like a summer, Those days, they dwindle. And I remember when I was on the farm, and we had like, I think it was like at least a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can have up to a month and a half or two where the temperature can vary above 80 to 105 or so.
Did you notice, I know it was a Friday the 13th, there was like a red moon or something like that? Did you see that?
A what?
A red moon. The moon.
Red moon, yeah.
What, did you notice any activity like in the world that was going on when that happened?
Well, I'm sure that the system has a lot of things planned around a red moon to do with honey.
Honey. Huh.
Making babies.
Yeah. Honey.
Red is normally a sort to iron.
It's what? You skipped. Got it. Yeah. Red is normally what?
Iron is rusting.
Oh, okay.
Iron is the basis for a magnet.
I was reading up a little bit on this electromagnetism, and I'm just right now I'm looking at you ever heard of Coulomb's law?
Coulomb?
Coulomb, if I'm pronouncing it right. Coulomb, C-O-U-L-O-M-B. Coulomb's law. I guess his
U-L-O-S-E.
No, C-O-U-L-O-M-B.
Seal.
Yeah, C-O-U.
Coulomb.
Yeah, Coulomb.
Sounds like colonials. The Coulomb. Second version of the colonials.
Yeah, his law or theory or whatever, it helped in the development of.
It's a measurement of electricity you're talking about.
Yeah.
Jennifer is my expert.
She's the expert?
Yeah. nurse deals with neurology, neurons, electrical currents within the body.
Yeah. There's a lot of I have to go over this stuff, electro.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot I have to learn with this electromagnetism stuff. I mean, you kind of summed up some stuff.
You're sitting on the biggest electromagnet in this. It's all of the space between 3,000 feet under you and not feet, meters, 1,000 meters, 6,000 meters is an electromagnet. And they say the planet is to the center, from the top of the planet to the center, 6,000 to 6,400 feet, or no, meters in diameter. Oh, radar. Radius. 6,400 meters.
You know that
half
whole
that is an electromagnet. From 3,000 meters down. Actually can create magnetic fields by placing wire in the ground that leads to a plate. That plate captures magnetism from down below and it into your house. The word plate is key. In baseball, the hitter goes up to the plate. And Plato gave you the rules of the game. And the Catholic priests brought in oblates, all of which have the word plate in it. And that's what your grandfather has become. The late Mr. So-and-so. The more plates, the sooner people die. A plate is put on a table.
There's no way. So, like, is it like, should a person stay out of the house more or something? Because it seems like this stuff
doesn't matter much in a city. Everybody's got plates. There isn't much space between the magnetic fields. Seems to be the main cause of mental illness. some people are coded into the program to be turned on and off so that the effects of the plates don't bother them until the system decides they need mass murderer or a serial, and then they turn the person on. And after they do their dastardly deed, people, I can't believe that he did this. He was never like that. He was such a nice young lad. And then he had following his own program, lies by omission. There was a whole bunch of bullshit about how a person have. There were signs all around. You only repeat what billionaires tell them to say. They lie on their mission of excuse me. O means original.
O means what?
Original.
Yeah, original.
The feminine principle is a circle. It goes around, compound.
Is that a changing when the circle becomes more like a zero? More like an oval, an egg shape?
No, it becomes, male become triangles pointing up and females goes pointing down. Of course, the one pointing down has the point in the direction of the magnetic field, or absorbs it more. Magnets attract more at the point than they do anywhere else. That's why you have a plate on the roof which is upwards, or one in the ground which points downwards. They attract any of the electrical activity that happens to go by. Your hydro company will tell you need to protect from the electric send you. That electricity may be a charge. I mean, rid of the excess by sending it in. When the surcharges come out of the ground, through the ground system, into your electrical box and your wire, which create the electric contained within your house. Effective on base 4, but because of the electrical system is also carried to every part of the house, the more wires there are, electrical wires, including telephone, the more the electrical field will affect the body.
Yeah, you were saying like it is a pulling down on the body, and it affects the I guess the scrotum.
Oh,
depression, yeah.
Of course, the poorest people in the city live. The richest people live higher.
So the richest live higher and the poorest live lower?
Yeah.
So at those different levels, they're affected differently. I guess it's more of like a time.
Affected differently by the Earth's magnetic field, but there are also some compensating factors they don't consider, that the magnetic is affected by solar and other space, not as much as would be if there was no magnetic field in the ground, but still active to some extent. The same concept as some people can be and consider themselves well off because they are escaping the flood. They don't consider that can kill as much as the wet flood. And the dry flood is usually radiation and gases, radon.
Yeah. So yeah, those people who think they'll survive in that area, they have another.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
Yeah, I said those people who think they're going to survive in that area where you live, they have there's another, I guess, system or death trap for them, or whatever.
Radon and gases and uranium produce radiation more specific to certain individuals depending upon their genetic means it probably will have more direct impact on the people who are higher than those who are lower. They get you coming and they get you going.
Yeah. So there's no way to like escape or avoid that type of manipulation, even if you live in a country.
One way.
What?
That's to leave this universe.
Yeah. Of course.
Leave the fourth dimensional universe behind and find refuge in the fifth dimensional universe.
Yeah, well, I find in like the movies and stuff, they their symbolisms. It's like they are trying to escape the fourth dimension. They claim that like their new slave or whatever will be able to go to the past this fourth dimension, but I don't see how they can do that.
They don't have the knowledge. You can have information and you can have knowledge, but you require wisdom. And self-serving people don't have wisdom.
Yeah. They seem to have wisdom that they stole from other people, but nothing that they actually gained on their own.
They were given a portion of the rules of the game, and they began to act as if they had all the information, knowledge, and wisdom of playing the game, but that means that they can only be correct 19 times out of 20, plus or minus 4%. They know that now and are seeking the missing wisdom that they were not given. And creation, having seen what they've done with what they were given, is not pleased. And therefore decided to allow them to hang themselves.
And that's what they're doing. That's what we're seeing. Just self-execution of everything.
They thought they could get it by chopping off heads, and that's why you see a lot of stories coming out of the Middle East, Persia, with people going around cutting off heads, hoping to find the answers within the body or the head separately. But it doesn't work that way.
You know, when you learn about like that, you know, in physics and electromagnetism and electrons, and you learn that something somewhere in one position, somewhere in space, can affect something in another part of space. And that's kind of, I guess, what you could say happened to this universe. The people here affected the universe by the activity that's been done. And I guess, you know, that's the whole thing with the speeding up of the timing and screwing everything up.
Self-service.
Yeah.
Is the prime deciding factor.
Self-service. Yeah.
Artificial attempts at circumventing that by creating philanthropists out of billionaires who can say, you know, don't have time for that, but here's $20. Doesn't solve their problem. Self-service is the problem, and it requires that the self be made secondary to the whole.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
The way clan mothers used to live in the days before there were genders. But they've drawn out of women the sense of the whole and replaced them with women whose orientation is themselves. They want to be the President of the United States. They want to be the President of Europe. And when they get there, they act worse than the men who were also wannabes.
Do you think, I see, like, you know, them talking about, like, people like Hillary Clinton. Do you think that, like, there'll be another, like, actual, like, election or whatever? There'll actually be another president? I didn't think, in my mind, I didn't think that that would even happen.
All the creation stops them from themselves, because the way it stands now, it looks like creation has decided to stand aside. Allows people to be who they've been programmed to be over the last 6,000 to 8,000 years.
Oh, what?
Your brother is still in the hospital?
Yeah, my mom just left like a little while ago to go visit him.
Did she hint as how long he's going to be?
She didn't tell me. No, she didn't hint. I asked her, and she's telling me that she has to. The guy has to heal, but I don't know how long that is. The healing process depends on the individual. That's what they told me.
How is she going to go to the funeral?
To see my I don't. It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Saturday after that. My brother should be out of the hospital by then.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, you know. When I think about it, like with you know, you think how creation is kind of subtle with how it communicates. All this stuff is kind of seems to be happening at the same time, you know.
Yeah, usually does.
Why is that? Is it that cataclysm is supposed to? That's what makes people kind of question their own lives.
Self surfaces a time of stress. gotta let you go.
Where you letting me go to? Where you gonna let me go, Glenn? Where?
You can go and read about electromagnetism, memorize Michael Faraday, 1933, or 1833, I should say. Years of learning. No education, learned by experiment. Didn't always succeed, but even at the things he failed at, it eventually proved helpful, that knowledge, at things he later succeeded at. Any spare time you have should be devoted to learning. So go for it.
Absolutely. I will, Glenn. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye for now.